were a high-end architectural millwork company. We did woodwork and cabinetry and lots of high-end doors and moldings for corporate interiors, much like where we're sitting today. They need a certain amount of flavor or appeal to their clientele. They're really trying to create a certain image or branding or what have you. They're looking for various, and the more complicated the projects, actually the more we liked it. We get bored with the simple stuff. It's everything from exotic veneers, natural stone, architectural glass to ornamental metals. The last 8 years of business, we were a top 100 firm 5 of those 8 years. I was always fairly ambitious and knew that while I may not be the smartest guy in the world, I knew that if I would start early and work hard, eventually we'd arrive at some place that we probably wanted to be. But the reality is that December of 2004, that company no longer exists. We owed a lot of people money I didn't know about.
And I remember thinking in my head, I would never go through bankruptcy.
We failed to execute in something as well as we should have. And that event, which was pretty significant, we didn't know it at the time, would trigger a sequence of events, which ultimately we were unable to stop.
And within several months, we're sitting across from the lawyer in his office and asking him, now how can we rearrange this so we can work to pay back our debt and get out of this mess that we are now in? And listening to him say, well, there is no way, you have to file bankruptcy.
And we lost everything we had. So I'm 44 years old, spent over half my life doing something that I thought would put 3 daughters through college and probably pay for 3 weddings and retirement, everything else, and all of a sudden it's gone.
And it was just a very deep shock. And the Lord brought back to my mind that day where I arrogantly had thought that we would never have to declare bankruptcy or we would never go that way, and said, basically, you need to trust me.
About 7:30 that morning, before I'm getting ready to leave, walk out the door, the Lord said, it's time to go. I didn't hear it, but I heard it and knew it here. Thus began, shall we say, a walk in the desert for a while. I was listening to Joel in August of 2007, and the Lord had already been speaking to me about this, and I was turning a bit of a deaf ear, not wanting to hear what I thought he was trying to say to me. And Joel simply said in the midst of the sermon, begin again.
When we get knocked down, when we make a mistake, God comes over and counts 10, 9, 8, all the way down to 3, 2, 1. God says, not you're out. He says, all right, get back up again. It's time to begin again.
Those words rang as loud as a bell in my head. And I knew the Lord was saying to me here, I want you to begin this business again. Knowing that the Lord said it, I knew it was His will, and we stepped off into that. I didn't have a great attitude about it, confessed it, would have to confess that for many months. I'm going, Lord, okay, if we do this, we need a building. And I remember we're sitting in the car, she's driving, and I said, okay, it needs to be 5,000 square feet on about an acre of land and a good price. We get home. I jump on the internet, I just look for something, I don't know what I'm really looking for. Within 30 minutes, I kid you not, someplace I had no idea existed in terms of a real estate site, we find a building. It's 5,000 square feet. It's on an acre of land, and it's a wonderful price. We watched the Lord do amazing things in this and show me that He could do it a different way than I would have done it.
He's already showing us connections that we would never have known and helping us dream big.
Reality is our first full year of business, which was last year, we did as much business as it probably took me 5 or 6 years to do the first time around. And we did it with probably 1/3 of the resources.
It's great encouragement to walk that journey and then be able to look back and go, wow, that was a ride, but I'm really glad I did it.
Beyond the shadow of a doubt, the Lord used Joel that day. And not just that day, many days to come.